Welcome to the First Steps informational video. We are excited to share important insights about our program and how it supports families on their journey in caring for their infants and toddlers. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, or interested community member, this video will provide you with valuable information to help you understand the resources available to you. Let's take the first step together. At the heart of our organization lies a commitment to making a positive impact, and we would like to take a moment to share our mission, vision, and values that guide everything we do. The mission of First Steps is to partner with Hoosier families whose young children are experiencing developmental delays and connect them with services that help them promote their child's development. Our state vision for our program is that all Indiana families have a strong foundation to advocate for their infants and toddlers to grow and flourish to their highest potential. It is important to note that the mission and vision are based on the following values: that First Steps is family centered. Everything we do in First Steps is focused on the individual child within the context of their family. We come from a place of strengths. What can the child do now, and what would we like to see him or her do? We visit the child in their natural environment where they are most comfortable and build upon their skills during their everyday routines like mealtimes and playtimes. Every state in the country has an early intervention program. Early intervention is part of the federal special education law called the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act Part C, or IDEA Part C. We follow federal laws and guidelines. However, each state makes its own policies, codes, and procedures. So, you may have children coming into you who have received early intervention services in another state, which may have looked a little differently than our services in Indiana. You may also have families who are moving to another state and may be concerned about whether that particular state has early intervention services. It is important to share and assure them that they will have early intervention services, but some of their policies or procedures may be a little different. Families are at the center of everything we do in First Steps. First Steps builds upon the important relationships between the parent, caregiver, and early interventionist to best support the child. Our goal is to educate and empower families so they can make informed decisions about their child's education. The family drives the planning process, which includes IFSP development and service delivery. We provide services in natural environments that are familiar to the child and family, such as home, childcare, and community settings like parks and grocery stores. Some of the services First Steps provides include audiology developmental therapy, nutrition services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, psychology, service coordination, social work speech therapy. You may be wondering who is eligible for First Step services. Any infant toddler up to the age of 3 who lives in the state of Indiana is eligible for a referral to the program. In the state of Indiana, to be eligible for early intervention service, as children must have a developmental delay in the following areas: cognitive or play skills, physical, which includes gross motor and fine motor, communication skills, which includes receptive language or understanding and expressive language, or gesturing and talking, social emotional development, adaptive skills or self-help skills like feeding and hand washing, or they must have a diagnosed medical condition that makes it likely that they will develop a delay. You may be wondering, how much does First Steps cost? There is never a fee for referral or an eligibility evaluation. Regardless of eligibility, all children are entitled to service coordination. Ongoing services may have a copay based on family income and resources. When should someone contact early intervention services? People should reach out to Indiana First Steps when they notice a child is not meeting their developmental milestones. We see children from birth until the day before they turn 3. Some children are referred to our program directly from the NICU, and some come to us right before they turn 3. If you have concerns about a child and they are approaching 3 years old, please don't hesitate to make a referral. Our system point of entry staff can connect families with the next step, which is special education, preschool services at their local public school. It is important to note that anyone can make a referral to First Steps, including parents, family members, caregivers, friends, early childhood educators, doctors, or social workers. Here's the First Steps statewide map that highlights the unique service regions or clusters. Each cluster has a system point of entry office or SPOE that accepts the referrals to the program. The SPOE contact information is listed on this slide. The information is also posted on our First Steps website, www.firststeps.in.gov. To make a referral, individuals may contact the system point of entry office directly. Here is an example of the welcome packet that a family will receive from a service coordinator. The first step in the journey is a referral. As shared previously, anyone can refer a child to First Steps. Families can self-refer to the program by contacting a system point of entry office directly. However, families may also be referred to the program by pediatricians, child care providers, or social services agencies. The next step in the process is intake. A service coordinator will meet with the family to gather information. Then, an assessment and evaluation will be scheduled with a multidisciplinary team of professionals to identify developmental delays and determine program eligibility. An important aspect of early intervention is that we all work as a team to support the child. Service coordinators are responsible for communicating with the family, providers, and the various agencies who may provide services for the child and family. The next step in the journey is developing an early intervention plan. The service coordinator, the family, and those the family would like to include, such as other family members, child care providers, early intervention providers, will meet to review the results of the assessment, discuss concerns and priorities, and determine goals for the child. This plan is called the Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP. At this point, early intervention services can begin. Based on information gathered in the IFSP, service coordinators will connect families to the service providers so they can begin therapies. The IFSP is to be reviewed every 6 months, and program eligibility is determined annually. As children and families' needs develop and change, so do our services. As a child exits or transitions from our program, it is important to plan for their future steps. When a child meets their developmental milestones or begins nearing their third birthday, the First Steps team will work with families to find the right services as their family transitions from the program. The First Steps team will provide information and discuss options for future steps. As a child care provider, you play a crucial role in supporting children's development and well-being. Your involvement in a child's individualized family service plan, or IFSP team, allows you to contribute valuable insights and unique perspectives about the child's strengths and needs. Collaborating with families and other professionals helps create a nurturing environment that fosters growth and learning. By actively participating in the IFSP process, you not only enhance the child's educational experience, but also empower families to make informed decisions about their child's care and development. Now, let's dive into what a child's Individualized Family Service Plan, IFSP, is. The IFSP is a legal document that considers a family's priorities, concerns, and resources regarding their child. The purpose of the IFSP is to identify priorities and goals for the child in the context of their family. The IFSP team includes the family, service coordinator, ED team, early intervention providers, physicians, child care providers, and anyone else the family would like to include. It is important that families, child care providers, and First Steps all work together on behalf of the child. You spend a great deal of time with the children in your care, you know them well. You can share the child's interests and preferences like their favorite toys, friends, games, and songs, as well as information about your daily routines with the early intervention provider. You can create opportunities for children to play and practice new skills during routines such as play, mealtimes, diaper changes, and dressing. During early intervention visits, observe the interactions, ask the EI provider questions about the activities, and discuss ways that you are supporting the child. Identify both formal and informal support services that you can share with the family, like playgroups, parent support groups, and educational websites. You may be wondering what you, as a child care provider, can expect during an early intervention therapy visit. Early intervention is to take place during naturally occurring activities and routines in your classroom. There is no need to remove the child from the classroom or activity for EI visits. You can prepare for the visit by considering where the child is succeeding and where there are still challenges and share them with the provider. When the early intervention provider visits the child, they will model techniques and explain strategies that foster the child's development. The provider is also available to answer your questions and provide resources when needed. The EI provider will leave a summary of service form about the visit for the parents to read. Child care providers are part of the early intervention team and are welcome to discuss the child's progress with the family. First Steps values the important role child care providers have in the child's early intervention services. First Steps providers and child care providers are partners in creating a supportive environment for the development of children. Child care providers can share information about what is working well in their classroom and what challenges exist in supporting a child's full participation. First Steps providers and child care providers are encouraged to collaborate to identify strategies that support the child in meeting their developmental goals. It is important for child care providers to know that these strategies can be embedded directly into the activities and routines that you are already doing. When First Steps providers visit your classroom, they will join the regular activities to practice these intervention strategies and support the child. First Steps providers and child care providers can discuss and problem solve what is working and what additional support would be helpful. Together, the team can determine a focus between visits. Child care providers are encouraged to share information about the early intervention visit with families at pickup. First Steps' goal is to empower families and teach caregivers the skills and strategies they need to support their children's development. Children learn not only at home, but also in childcare and within their community during everyday routines. Childcare providers are encouraged to work alongside the family and their early intervention team, sharing information about the child's progress to identify the best ways to support their development. First Steps employs a coaching model that is based on research in child development and early intervention. Families share information with their early interventionists about the routines and activities that are important to their family. Early interventionists observe and ask questions during these routines, whether it's snack time, playtime, hand washing, or other daily activities. The early interventionists coach families and caregivers to include strategies during everyday activities and play routines to help their child learn and grow. Here are some key takeaways for early childhood educators. Request a copy of the child's Individualized Family Service Plan, IFSP. Ask to participate in or receive notes from IFSP meetings. Become familiar with the role of each IFSP team member. Share and request information needed to document progress toward IFSP outcomes. Learn about the child's specialized interventions by observing and asking questions. Understand how you and your staff can support the child between visits from specialists. Invite early intervention providers to visit and provide their services in your setting. Include early intervention providers in special events and include them on mailing lists. We encourage you to visit the First Steps website, www.firststeps.in.gov. You can find lots of information on our website, including brochures, milestone handouts, and posters that can be customized with your business contact information. You can access and download all of our outreach materials, which are available in multiple languages for easy sharing and distribution. And remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at First Steps Indiana for the latest news and updates. Thank you for joining us to learn more about First Steps. We're excited to be a part of your journey in supporting children's growth and development.